A CV can be an extraordinarily important document a person presents during the job search. It is a summary of one's abilities and experiences, focusing on academic credentials and relevant professional accomplishments. In many parts of the world, the term CV is used to describe a document similar to the U.S. resume. In the U.S., however, a CV almost always refers to a document utilized within the academic realm, specifically for postdocs, faculty jobs, research positions, and grant and fellowship opportunities. One of the key differences between a CV and resume is length. A student CV may be as short as 2 pages, while an experienced academic may have 10 or more pages. It is often helpful to have multiple versions of the CV to use for different audiences. Consider the institution and the role itself as you think about how to organize and prioritize different sections. The most relevant experiences should usually be higher up on the page. For example, if you're applying to work at a small college with a major emphasis on teaching, it may be wise to list your teaching experience higher up on the page than if you were to apply for a research position where your research experience should be prioritized. Keep in mind that every discipline is different. If you are applying to faculty roles, we recommend looking at the CVs of faculty members in your department to get a sense of any discipline-specific norms. There are also instances of individuals using a CV for a position outside of academia, but which are still related to academic research. For example, a chemist looking to do research at a pharmaceutical company may use a CV, but it may use slightly different conventions than a CV for academia. So what should you actually include in your CV? Begin with your personal information, your name, address, phone number, and university email. Some people also opt to include their department, but that is optional. The next section will typically be your education. Include the name of the university, the city and state or city and country if international, the degree, and your year of graduation or anticipated graduation. This should be done for each degree you've received, but should not include high school or earlier. Note that on CVs for academic roles, the dates are usually on the left instead of the right, which is the norm for industry roles. The education section could also include the dissertation, which can be listed briefly or have its own section. If it has its own section, it usually includes a very brief abstract. Education is often followed by experience. This could be related to teaching, research, or general professional experience, which can sometimes be more specific, for example, government experience or publishing experience. In this example, we can imagine that if the teaching experience is prioritized, that the applicant is applying for a role with a heavy teaching focus. While remembering to order various experience sections by importance to your audience, include your position with respect to the organization, the location, and the dates. Historically, CVs have not always used descriptions of experiences, opting instead for general lists. This is especially true of those seeking faculty positions. In recent years, though, some CV users have begun adopting the practice of having brief summaries of their roles, whether in bullet format or with small paragraphs. It's also worth noting that some people may choose to include their teaching interests or research interests as another way of highlighting specific expertise appropriate to a role. When adding research experience, include your years, your title, and the institution or lab, as well as the location. Similar to the teaching experience section, descriptions were not historically included in this section, but the practice is becoming more common. As a general guideline, faculty roles often avoid descriptions and non-faculty roles often use them. Another type of experience a person can list is their service to the university community. This can show a willingness to engage in leadership and take on additional responsibilities. While this section might be lower on the page for research-focused institutions, it may be higher up for those that are more teaching-focused. It's no secret that publications are usually among the most important sections of the CV. Be sure to cite publications fully and include any publications that are forthcoming. Early career professionals may have a small publication section, but as you continue to publish, it may be possible to begin separating publication sections into categories like book chapters, book reviews, and journal articles. You should also include any presentations you've delivered. These may be for formal conferences or invited sessions wherein you have presented your research. For these, You should include the title of the presentation, the organizing institution, the location, and date. If you have received any grants, awards, or fellowships related to your research, those are also excellent to include in a dedicated section. Additionally, professional associations, especially if you have had any leadership roles, can be included, as can any language or technical skills. And finally, most CVs will include references at the bottom. Every discipline is different, so be sure to consult with faculty in your field and be mindful about the type of position to which you are applying. The organization, focus, and formatting can differ dramatically based on those factors. For more information, speak with a Wasserman Center career coach or check out our resources in Handshake.